These things are these particular things are most important while we are dealing with the paths. We are always deals with the paths. I told you multiple things we are depends on the paths. CSS, JavaScript, images, all these things. That's why we need to why we are doing all these things because tomorrow I will share this application to you. You just copy that application wherever you want in your computer and open up. Automatically everything should work. You don't have to again go on my path is C drive, but his path is D drive. If you open it, won't work. Your file is not there. That one, this one, you are already told you know. Those problems and all will solve automatically if you are sending entire sample UI to someone. Everything, whatever depends on this particular project, the images and resources is part of your project itself. And the paths you are given is also from the data. That means relative paths. The paths will be two types, absolute path and relative path. Always we give relative because from where I am here, from there you take it. Don't go to C drive, D drive because that might change. I put my computer here somewhere C drive, but some other computer have D drive, E drive, F drive, and some other folder. We don't know. In that particular case, also my project has to work without having any problem. That's why the paths always relative. Paths always preferred is relative paths. Relative paths means not absolute paths from actual path. The actual path is not this. The actual path of the any file will be always C. This one. You are able to see that C users engine desktop something like that. That is the absolute path, which is stayed in a one computer and that computer path. And that computer path, if I give it to you, it's different for you, different for me. Because it's Anjan computer, Anjan is coming. For you, it will be your name. For me, my name. For a server name. So that is the most dangerous. In that particular case, if I just make it absolute path over there with the CSS files or any other files which I'm referring here, and that will be a harm for you if I share with you. Until it in my computer doesn't matter. If I give it to you, it will be a problem because the path is wrong there for you. It won't work for you. That is the problem. Always we have to stay with the relative paths. Relative path means it always starts from dot something. Dot means current folder. Dot means back, go to back, something like that. Dot means it will go back. That means what? I am in the login screen HTML. It is actually in SRC folder, right? Where is the login HTML? It's in SRC folder. I wanted to go back. From the back, I have to take it. Then what I have to do? I'll just use dot slash. See, it will show so many other files. Because dot slash means it went outside of sample UI because it is in sample UI currently. Dot means it go to desktop. Where it will go? It went to desktop. In the desktop, there are so many files. In my desktop, there are so many files. Like that, guys. So dot means current folder. Currently where I am. From there, you put the path. Always you need to understand that we deal with dot and dot. So dot means go back. Dot means current folder. From there, you put the path. Currently, we use dot only because from here only I'm referring back to the folders. I don't want to go back. But going forward, we'll see we go back, go front because we are maintaining so many folders and files. Sometimes you have to go back and go front also. That time we will understand the path will have a dot slash also. You understand what I'm saying? So going forward, you'll see that, but you remember all these things. Any questions as of now? So I'm just making sure here in the login HTML also I can able to use the style.css. In the index.html also I'm using the style.css. But the path is different here. It is started with the CSS because it's very near to the CSS folder. But the login HTML is little bit far away because the login HTML is somewhere I created in the SRC. But this particular HTML is created inside the SRC only. That is why the paths are different. You need to be very understanding. So the CSS style CSS, which is I'm referring is same file only. But this path is different. It is started from SRC CSS style. Whereas this one, CSS style. Here, if you put SRC, it won't work because this relative is different because this HTML is already in SRC, but this HTML is not in SRC, but in the project sample UI. This particular login HTML in sample UI folder, but in index.html we created inside SRC folder. That is why paths will be different when you are referring to the same file also. Paths are different. That is most important. Any questions? Let me run this. See, CSS is applied. Guys, you are getting it or not? So that is why you need to be very understandable here with the paths. Let me just run, take one image and I'll show you how to use the images also. Do we have some images? Yeah, we got the sanmoon image. I copy that into our project folder. So we have a dedicated folder for it for the images. I keep it over there. Now, where is my image? Sanmoon.jpg. It is under img folder. You should be very carefully understand where is my images, where are my CSS files, where are my resource files, JavaScript files, HTML. You should be very much understandable. That's the most important part of it to understand the project. If someone given you the project also, first and foremost thing, go and see the files and folders where it is. At least you should know, okay, some dedicated files will be there for images. There might be images folder. Go and read it for that. You should have some understanding. That is the most important part of it. Okay. Let me now, I copied with the sanmoon.jpg file. Let me use this file, this particular JPG file, which is my image, into my application somewhere, anywhere, because my HTMLs are two now, which is login HTML. Another one is index.html. Go to Visual Code and let me just use it in the index.html. Just I wanted to inside the container, I will use image div. Here I will use img tag for the images. Are you guys getting? img, the moment I enter, if you are started with the less than, you should you should type each and everything. Whereas if I'm not entering with less than, I just use the tag name. Your efficiency of the visual code will work here. Automatically it creates the tag and it will be available every attribute for you, and SRC, which you need to put the path for the file, that will be waiting there. That efficiency we have to use it. Okay. Now you put slash dot slash and see, that will suggest us img folder and sanmoon.jpg. You have to use it like this is correct one. If it is suggesting means everything will be works perfectly. If it is not suggesting, that's the most problem. You should take care. You have to go and see not working, it's working, not working. If you are using correct or not, everything is a problem. Paths are the most problematic thing in the projects, guys. You will be struggle a lot because sometimes it won't work even though everything is correct because of the path is not loaded properly. I already told you again how to check that. Now I have one more path here, imgsrc, right? Let me run this particular thing. Index. You see that image is loaded properly. If your path is correct or not. For example, I told you not how to check. Go to page source. You have a path, click this. See that image is loaded. If image is loaded means your path is correct. If image itself not loaded, your path is long. Like that you should check. I told you, irrespective of images, videos, audios, animations, HTMLs, JavaScript, CSS, everything will depends on the path. You should have a path and you need to check whether path is correct or not. So many times, because you have a source code, you can easily check. Sometimes from the servers, you have to test. You don't have source code. The file is not loaded. You need to know the path is correct or not. First and foremost thing, you should know that. Because that is the only fix. You need to correct the path is the only fix. For example, I made a mistake in the path. Like this. Will that load? Guys, you are getting it or not? This is the most important thing which I'm talking about. Whomever is already working professionals, they know about it. Now, if I click it, see what is going to happen. Same thing. Previously, for the CSS, you got it the same thing. Now, the image also you are getting the same. Now, what you need to do, you need to know the correct path. Here only you know that correct path and just correct the path over there and understand, yes, this is correct path. Now you will understand this is the correct path. Go to the particular file and change it to the correct path, save it, go back to the browser and run it. Will that work? Guys, will that work? It will work. That's all. That's why we have to be very careful with the paths, because paths are the most important stuff. Because we are so many dependent on the paths. Images were dependent, CSS, JavaScript, HTMLs, going forward, so many APIs, that thing, this thing. Everything we depends on the paths. The path is nothing but URL. URL is nothing but universal resource locator. Resource means what? A image, a video, a multimedia, a animation, a API, CSS, a JavaScript. Anything is a resource in the computer. For anything, there is a location for it. If you are properly not putting the location, that won't work. Image will load, video will load, JavaScript will load and work. Program it is. CSS will apply. API also a resource where you can able to call it so that the server side code will run and give it to you the response. The difference is inside what is there, but the paths are same for everything and everything. That is the most important thing. That's why we have to be very careful while you are dealing with the paths. Any questions? That's why our visual IDs are going to be very easy here. That's why they will support here and use the efficiency of the visual code IDs. And it will suggest that if it is not suggested, work on it like half an hour, 1 hour. My visual code is not supporting with the paths and all. There will be some problems will be there. You can easily fix that and use it. 99.9% each and every visual code will support paths. Automatically it is showing up. Sometimes because of some reasons within the organizational laptops and all, sometimes it loads, it won't load, but you can get it load by changing some settings. Because this is most important thing. And if it is not working, you will struggle a lot, because every time you change path, it won't work. Change path, it won't work. What is the path you don't know? You by manually saying this, that, and all, it's correct only. You are doing some mistakes, you are not able to realize. That's a problem. If the IDs are supporting and IDs are showing something which is suggesting something, that problems and all easily we can solve. You understand? So I'm stopping the session here, and you have to use this visual code, whatever I'm showing you, like this only, and practice it. And any problems, we'll get to end up with so many problems, guys. It's not a small thing. You guys practice only, you will realize. If you're not practicing, you won't realize. You go and practice, put the files and folders like this, get it done, make it work, see that it is working or not. If it's not working, go and check why it is not working. I shown you how to check the paths. Go to the browser and go to the view source and check it, click it and check whether it is loaded properly. If it is loaded properly, it will work. If it is not loaded only, it won't work. Go and correct it. All these things you have to do it. However, I shown you like that, you do for 2-3 times. Why I am showing you here? You guys have to do it like this only and practice. Don't just listen the video and practice. It's not going to work. You go and do it yourself and you practice. You understand what I'm saying? If you do the same way, whatever I shown you, you will definitely end up with so many problems. That problems are the doubts you need to correct yourself. Come and ask. I'll explain you. You understand? That are the doubts you need to ask. If I ask you any doubts, you won't ask anything. That's the problem. Go and do it. You will get hundreds of doubts. Those doubts are the doubts you have to ask, and I will correct you. Okay? I'm stopping the session here. Tomorrow, I'm going to show you the actual Bootstrap customization with all kinds of project environments, all kinds of external things, whatever the typical project thing. And this is most important. Okay? Any questions? Any questions, guys?
No, sir.
Okay, I'm stopping the session here. Once recording is completed, I'll share it. Thank you very much. Thank you for watching the video. If you like this session, please comment and share this video. If you don't want to miss my upcoming videos, please subscribe to the channel.